We be talking, what's the word? Everything you never heard. We be talking, oh, talking. Tamara, Kim, Shika, and Ave. They be
So
talking.
you go ahead and start us off, boo boo.
Me inside like you know me inside.
So listen.
Because if I'm telling you something, I'm not telling you and your husband. I'm telling you. I'm not telling you and your wife.
Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the post notification bell so you don't miss a single video, because you know they be talking. Period.
We try to get some understanding. We
ain't got
need
no
understanding of how you have a best friend,
That is not
No.
your husband.
Mel, that's not your husband.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. First, giving honor to God, who's the head of my life.
No.
To the pastors, officers, and members of this great social community. Okay. Yeah, so let's do some math, shall we?
Yes,
One
please
me
do.
plus one husband plus one best friend equals three. My best friend is a male. He is not a female. I do believe that you could have best friends of the opposite sex. I believe it has to be done respectfully.
How? Wait. We're going.
Okay, Tamar. How is if both parties have to be comfortable with it? In order for me to have my best friend that's a male, my husband is definitely comfortable with our relationship because there were certain parameters and boundaries that have been set over the, oh my God, how long we been married? I want to say 18 years of our marriage, for him to be comfortable with that friendship. My best friend was my best friend before I even met my husband. And so I don't believe that you should have to cut somebody out of your life just because you get into a relationship with another individual.
I don't believe that either.
So, but I believe there
Yeah,
has
you gotta
to
quit cutting them
be,
out.
huh?
I said, no, not cutting them out.
Yeah, but there has to be boundaries set in place. For example, I remember when my husband, I could tell he wasn't comfortable with it, at some point. And so then my best friend was like, yo, I want you to get to know me. Like, let's go hang out. Let's go like get to know each other. Let's, all of these things. He would even like, hey, like call him, be like, hey, I just checking on you, see how you doing, blah, 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 yada, yada. But of course, that relationship never blossomed into anything because of course he's my best friend. And he was doing it just to try to let him know like, hey, you don't ever have to worry about me. But I have the best of both worlds. My best friend is absolutely freaking amazing. And I have my husband, and then there's me.
So let me ask you a
That
question.
husband is me.
Would you feel okay if your husband had a female that was his best friend?
Absolutely, because of the way that I handled it. If it was handled in the same way that I did, respectfully, and making sure that there were clear boundaries that were set in regards to the relationship. You know what I mean? Like my husband has gone to the movies with my best friend without me. Like we've, he met him, things of all that, like that. Absolutely. Now, and I don't even have problems with my, because you know how military people are. You never know who's who because y'all talk about last names for one. But two, with hanging out, at first I was like, that's kind of like weird. You know what I mean? Like how the freak y'all can hang out and stuff like that. But, it's a big camaraderie. So if he has female coworkers or whatever that like, let's say they all going out to the movies or they all going out to, it's like the thing, I don't have a problem with that.
Well, that's a clear difference between a best friend.
I don't think so. It's still a person.
No,
It is a person,
the
but
relationship is different.
I guess absolutely understand. Absolutely. You are absolutely right.
You a little bit more when it comes to what I consider a best friend. Like the relationship is different. You're more intimate with that person, you know, in a sense.
Absolutely.
They know more details. So it's not the same as
Just
some
hanging
people
out.
you want to hang out.
Camaraderie.
With. You know what I mean? A best friend is that's real close. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's a closer,
Family.
more personal, more intimate, you know, relationship. So my thing is you would have to be careful with that. That's just how I look at it. When it comes to, you know, best friend, especially my husband. Just my period. My husband have the best friend of anybody else outside of me. When it comes to like the closest person to me or the closest person to him, that's me and him. There's nobody else as close.
Mm.
Don't nobody know me inside like he know me inside.
Oh Lord.
No, but I mean like don't nobody know me inside and out like he know me. I mean like inside, not inside.
Right.
Well, I got a question then with that, Sheikah.
But my whole point is, in order for our relationship to work properly, he has to be the closest person to me.
Mm.
There is nothing, there is nothing that he don't know about me that somebody else does.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So even though I have some people that are very dear to me, you girls, like y'all my girls, and I, you know, we'll get on the phone and we'll talk, whatever the case may be. But even with that, he's the closest person to me. He's the most, as a human being, the most important person outside of Holy Spirit, because that's the most important person in my life. But he's the most important natural person to me. Real life. Because it'll never fail me. No matter what happened between everybody else's relationship, he always gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I wouldn't have anybody else as a best friend outside of him.
I think that the way that you just kind of broke that down, I don't think having a best friend puts changes the hierarchy in the relationship. Like what you said should always be. I feel like having a best friend is in conjunction to that. I don't think that having a best friend means that best friend gets everything, gets what you were saying. Of course, those are things that should be shared between a husband and a wife. And there are things that are shared between friends that are shared just between friends. You know what I mean? I'm very particular about what I say. You know what I mean? And so, because if I'm telling you something, I'm not telling you and your husband, I'm telling you. I'm not telling you and your wife, I'm telling you. So then if things that I just don't care about, if you tell your spouse, I'll probably be like, yeah, so this happened, that happened. But certain things that's kind of like, okay, well, this is kind of like, I'm kind of dealing with this, or I'm kind of, what's a different viewpoint? Then I definitely talk to my best friend about that. Like, hey, what do you think about this? What are your thoughts on this? This is where my mind is. What are your views on that? You know what I mean? I think that both can coexist. I don't think one has to surpass or be in the place of another individual. I feel like they can coexist equally.
And what you think about this?
Yeah, I
Let me tell you
already.
something. I already know what Kim thinks, because Vernon ain't finna have no best friend. That's not Kim.
I mean, we talked about this before. We already had that argument in the beginning of our relationship. But for one, to piggyback what Sheikah was saying, I feel like if I feel like your husband, my husband would be my best friend too, because he has seen me naked physically and like spiritually. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like a vulnerable,
He's seen the worst of me that nobody has seen.
a certain vulnerability that only he would see.
Yes.
Not even my mom, not even my dad. You get what I'm saying? So, and physically, he's seen me, naked. So if I had a male best friend, would I be able to be physically naked with my male best friend? I probably could be spiritually naked with him, but physically it will be awkward. You get what I'm saying?
How
Because
would
he is
you want to be though?
no, you wouldn't. So why? So I can't be naked with you. That's what I'm saying. I can't be naked with you
Sound
in
like we
such a
going
way.
back to video number one. You want to be
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. If I have a male best friend, like say if it was one of y'all and we somewhere and I gotta hurry up and get undressed because we gotta do that. I can't do that with this male best friend. I mean, I can. It'll be awkward. You get what I'm saying? So that alone negates the fact that I would have a male best friend and I have a husband, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Two, if I was in your shoes, I don't feel that I would be able to call another man my best friend because I feel like I should have married him. If that makes sense.
Right. Should have married your
I
best
should have
friend.
married that man that I am most comfortable with, that I am most vulnerable with. That's just me. I'm not saying, anybody else. I feel like if I got a dude out there that's doing better, that's making me feel better than my husband is, that I can cry on, that I can go to, that I can call on, that I can be vulnerable with, I should have married that one. You get what I'm saying? I feel like there should be no best friend other than your spouse because you with them 24/7. You with them thick and thin. What a best friend would be, right? I mean, I don't know. It's definitely not even a question because, like I said in the beginning, he had a best friend before me, right? And like you said, your husband was trying to, your best friend was trying to get to know your husband and stuff like that. But you said he only did it to make him feel like there's nothing going on, right? So technically, no. I mean, you said he only did it because he didn't want him to feel
I
like
was talking about my husband. My husband only did it. Like my best friend was trying to get to know him. Like, hey, let's come on, let's hang out or whatever. And I feel like my husband only did it because he was just kind of like,
your
husband. Best friend. Not my my best friend. My best friend was very genuine in trying to be like, yo, you ain't got nothing, to worry about. You know what I mean?
So even with that, the husband doesn't feel comfortable, right? That's another.
I won't say that.
I didn't feel comfortable.
Well, that's what it sounds like.
Let me go me. I didn't feel comfortable. Me personally, I didn't feel comfortable with him calling another woman his best friend. And I don't think it had anything to do with jealousy in a sense. No, I'm talking about for me because that was the argument between us two. It was a jealousy thing.
Jealousy thing.
And I was like, no, it's not that. It's the principle of you get what I'm saying? I got your back regardless. I'm here. You know what I mean? I was trying to make him see the position that I was in. If I'm there with you thick and thin, I'm sharing everything with you. I'm vulnerable with you and you same with me. And you see this friend every blue moon when you come home, when y'all grew up together. You get what I'm saying? How does she still hold a title as best friend? And you married me. You feel that secure that much about her. That's somebody you should have been seeking to marry because you want to marry your best friend, right? That's what I thought.
I don't.
I mean,
for me, but I can understand. But for me, no. I think that's, and for me, that's kind of like blurring things. Your spouse is your spouse. Relationship that you have with your spouse is relationship that you have with your spouse. The relationship that you have with your friend is relationship that you have with your friend. I don't believe that if you have a relationship with a friend that's the opposite sex, that's somewhere saying that there is something lacking in your relationship because if you were fulfilled here, then you wouldn't need that friendship there. Because if it was a woman, it wouldn't have been an issue. If I said my best friend was a girl, it wouldn't be this. It kind of reminisces the men can be a hoe, but women can't be a hoe type thing. Huh?
Even if it's the woman, even if he say his best friend is a man, it still would be a problem with me. You get what I'm saying? So it's not about it being a man or a woman. It's not about being a man or a woman or them even having a sexual relationship. It's about the position they hold in.
I was just about to say, I think it's more important, like where you put that person.
Where you put them at. Yeah, I think.
If it's a guy,
absolutely.
If I feel like, even if it's a guy like you, if he got more of your heart where you gonna go divulge information to him that I don't know about. Now we crossing the line.
Oh, absolutely. That
You know?
shouldn't be a thing. But again, I don't feel that if that they can't coexist. That's just me. I think, and everything is different for everybody. But what works for me and mine is I can have my husband, I can have my best friend, I have the relationship that I have with my husband, I can have a relationship that I have with my best friend. And there is no I'm telling him something my husband doesn't know, or my husband isn't someone that like, oh, it's me and you we're here like this. My best friend has been with me from childhood. So like literally he's like a part of my family.
Okay.
So I don't see it as anything negative. But again, I think it just depends on what works for everybody's relationship. And for me and mine, it works.
But did it always work?
It did, because like I said previously, it's all about boundaries. Like if my husband said to me, I don't feel comfortable with you having this person as a friend because it makes me feel inadequate. It makes me feel as if something that belongs to me is being given to somebody else. It makes me feel that this person has a place where I feel I should be. Then I would absolutely, because that's my husband, be like, oh, okay, love. Well, at the end of the day, it's me and you ride or die. So at the end of the day, if this is something you're not comfortable with, absolutely no questions asked. But when we had this conversation, because this was a conversation that we had before we even pursued the whole marriage thing, because it's like, hey, so this is my friends, this is that, this is how this goes. Are you cool with that? He didn't have a problem or an issue with me having this person as my best friend, especially since he knows that he's basically kind of like part of the family or whatnot. But also in the same vein, I think that clear boundaries have to be set, because I feel like if you don't have any boundary sets, or if there are insecurities in certain areas, then I could kind of see where it could cause a rift or cause an issue or cause a seed to maybe, I guess, be planted as of a what if y'all don't work out, at least I know I'm there in the back. I could totally understand that, you know what I mean? But that's why I think boundaries.
I don't think you have to cut them off either, though. I don't think you necessarily have to cut them off, or they no longer your friend. You get what I'm saying? I don't think you have to do that, but
no, you don't.
I do think there needs to be a shift in where you guys stand. You know what I mean?
I have a question.
Like, I think it's the best friend thing that's throwing me off. You get
I have a question.
I think it's, I understand, because I think everybody has a different definition of what best friend means to them. You know what I mean? And so, because with the stuff you were saying, I was like, well, no, like you're saying I agree with you, what you're saying, like my husband. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my husband. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah, that would be my husband. That's not what I'm saying. But I think it's, as with any friendship, there are different levels of intimacy. And so that's based on how you view that friendship.
Okay.
And so I think that definition is different for everybody.
All right, I got a question.
Y'all was saying with stuff that I was like, well, yeah, my husband, that makes sense. Yeah, I understand that. That's not what I'm talking about with my best friend.
A question for you. So you said that if your husband had a problem with your relationship with your best friend, or the way it was, then you'd be like, okay, whatever, you're my husband. Let's, I'll fix it, whatever, out of respect for you and love for you, right? Mm-hmm. So what if your best friend had a problem with your relationship with your husband? How would you like handle that situation?
That I wouldn't have a best friend.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like that would be a true definition of the type of people that you pick to have in your life. You know what I mean? Because before you even got to that point before I would even get to that point of being married, if this person had a problem with who I was dating, or had a problem with, or felt like, oh, well, I mean, I'm your friend, you should choose me, or I should come. No, I don't think. And then my best friend is married.
But what if it's just because, you know, some best friend relationships, we have opinions on how on you know, who we date
They
or
just
whatever,
don't want
whatever.
you to date
And we're
nobody.
like, listen,
Mhm.
I don't feel good about that one or whatever, whatever. What if it's just something like, you know, they feel like something's just not right? Is that something you would consider, or would you just cut them off? Like, nah, you can't tell me, because I know for me and my best friend, but I'm just saying, like, for me and my close friends, like, you can, and for y'all, come on now, if I started to date somebody and y'all didn't feel good about this person,
We tell
and
you.
y'all told me,
Oh, we definitely
you
tell
think
them.
I'm not gonna cut y'all off and say, well, I ain't got no friends no more because this my man.
But sometimes people do that.
Oh,
Some people do that.
definitely.
Yeah.
And that's
Ooh.
why, no. But
No,
that's,
honestly, but you would consider what your friend had to say about the one.
That's the point I'm getting to.
Absolutely.
You would
Absolutely.
consider what your friend had to say and not, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, for me, listen, if I'm married to you, honey, we best friends. Okay.
Hey, amen. I agree.
All right. You getting all these cookies? We best friends. You're not finna call nobody else best friends when you getting my cookie.
Oh, no.
cause you, well, I ain't gonna say
Well,
that.
I mean, y'all making it seem like it has to be a woman that you do that for. I'm saying either or, man or
Either
woman.
or.
No,
I
I'm
don't
just
care who
I'm
it
saying
If
the
it's your, if it's your
reaction.
boy that you grew up with, he
Yeah,
can't give you what I'm giving you, honey.
Come on now.
That's not the
come on now, come on now,
he your second best friend.
come on now. I mean,
Or
you
third.
know, he said he was second best friend.
Or whatever, because you
Or whatever number.
Well,
he-
here's another
he
thing. I
is.
want to go there. I want to go here, y'all. Tell me what's
Uh-oh,
wrong.
uh-oh,
When a
uh-oh.
man and woman are joined together, they become one, right?
One.
Absolutely.
They're one, right?
Yes.
So there is no separation of the two when you're married. That's how I feel, right?
Right.
If me being now joined with my husband, I guess you could say I'm not comfortable with the intimacy level, because intimacy doesn't mean penetration. You get what I'm saying?
Right,
Which
because what Franklin say intimacy mean? Into PC. You seeing into me.
But what I'm saying is doesn't mean that it means that somebody else is you're intimate.
You got two people making you feel safe.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm done.
No, that's it. That's it. And you can't do that. You can't. I don't think that's possible or fair, if that makes sense.
What?
To be made comfortable, be feeling safe from two people.
Well, like Ave said, it depends
Yeah.
on your definition of what
I'm saying. She said intimacy is who you feeling safe with, who makes you feel safe, right?
Yeah, Tavera did say it was who makes you feel safe.
Right. I said it's not fair to have two people making you feel that way.
Well, it depends on the type of safe.
No.
Because Franklin's type of safe was.
His was like a sexual.
Well, you can't. It's still not fair. Either way.
Like, you know.
Either way, it's not safe. Either way. Either way.
Either way, it's not safe. I got you. Okay.
It's greedy, per se. Greedy.
Oh, okay. So what Kim is saying, Ave, is greedy.
Girl, nom.
No.
That's what she said. That's what she said.
You need
No.
You need to let that man go as your best friend.
Well, okay, here, look, Ave never said he was making her feel safe.
She got to feel safe if that's her best friend since day one. She feels safe.
Okay.
She feels safe. Ave, do he not make you feel safe?
Cracking me the freak. Y'all are a mess.
I did not say that.
Y'all are a mess. No, but this is awesome. I think that this is a great conversation.
So why is this cracking you up, Ave? What is cracking you up? Because honestly, just think about it. I think it's the title. Because nobody else should be titled best friend if you're married with the person you're married to.
I think that's a personal choice.
I'm just saying, like, why would they be titled that when what is a best friend? That's the thing. Like, what is a best friend?
And that's what I said.
We need to define what we think a best friend is.
And I think that title of what you think a best friend is varies with each individual. For me, My best friend is like family. He's literally like a brother.
But
to
we need
me.
to call him brother then.
So,
So that's your brother
So-
then. That's
Y'all
your
are
brother from
stupid.
another mother then.
so
I said I think it's the term best friend that's doing it. Maybe it may be just a term.
it could, I think so. I think that could be it, but that's what we, you
'Cause
know.
I got close male friends, but I
Mhm.
dare not
Oh,
say
you do?
best friend. I do. I mean, I got good friends. You know what I mean?
What
And
But I
me-
dare not say.
what
huh?
close male friends you got?
I got a lot of close friends.
Your husband,
That's what I'm saying. It does not compare.
No. She said she got close male friends.
I do.
Who are they?
Daniel is one of them.
Daniel, everybody, you know what I mean?
I said your husband.
Daniel.
McFadden.
This has took a turn for the worse.
No, but you get what I'm saying? Like even like that's why I don't feel like you should have to cut them off, like you were saying. We're not saying they got to go. You get what I'm saying? They just have to now have a different role in your life, you know. And I'm saying it because the situation that I was in, he didn't understand that. He was like, this been my friend from day one, you know. But I'm just not hearing about this best friend. You know what I mean? Later on, like if this is somebody like you said it was, this would have been somebody that came along when we got
At the
together.
beginning.
You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if people
yeah.
throw the term loosely out there, best friend,
I
and
got you.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think it's wise to just if a person makes you feel a certain way and you feel like you can be most vulnerable with, then that's who you should be pursuing, not, you know, a second to that, if that makes sense. I think the person you should marry should be the person that you can be your most self with, you know, you're most vulnerable with, and you know, that fills all those areas that we talked about before. And we don't always get all of that, but I'm saying if you find yourself always longing for something else from somebody else, or needing something from somebody else that this person can't give you, then I believe you're in the wrong spot. But it's easier to get that spouse, you know. You've seen me inside and out. You've been, you know, you've seen me at my worst, you know. I think that person there should be.
They said we doing the most.
They is listen.
She like,
y'all
I'm
need
not
to-
gonna ask my best friend to pull that stuff out of my tail.
Who that
No,
turned
you
out?
know.
Girl, no, like
Are
that's
they
a
in the
husband and
room?
husband only request.
Yeah, but I think it's a fine. I don't think you can separate it though. That's why I don't know.
I think that's why I think best friends, I think, like I said, the definition is different for each individual. And I think based on past relationships, past experiences, things that maybe can cause the meaning to feel different. But when I'm talking about my best friend, like, no,
No.
like, and so like the stuff that you guys are saying, I'm like, well, yeah, that's my husband. Yeah, that's my husband. But that's not what I'm talking about. But again, I think the what embodies that relationship, that friendship and things like, I think that's just, it's going to be different for each individual. Because everything that y'all are saying, I'm like, well, yeah. And you're like, well, I feel like that's the husband. Well, yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. Like, absolutely all of that. Yes. For my husband, absolutely.
So why wouldn't you just call your husband your best friend?
Who said he wasn't my best friend? I never said he was. No, I never, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. No,
Oh,
ma'am.
well,
I never said my
okay.
husband wasn't my best friend. Okay, because of course, if you're married, but my best friend is my bestie, and I won't say his name on there because I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Honestly, I'm for real. I thought that meant that he wasn't your best friend, that there was somebody else.
no, I mean, no. I didn't think I had to say that my husband is my best friend. And because the thing, I think what brought it on was, oh, well, you can't have a male best friend. And I was like, well, I have a male best friend.
I have a male
so
friend.
is your
I don't have a male best friend. I
is
think.
your best friend Ave, is he married too?
Yes, he is.
What, and his wife is okay with just?
Yes, she is. Because again, like I
Lying.
said, it all
She's
has to
not
come
okay with
down.
it. She lying. Yeah, somebody
Look,
lying.
Tamara.
You don't
She
even know
lied.
this woman, Tamara. You don't know.
I'm
this
so
woman.
sorry, it's boring, friends, but we got to try to make it what it ain't. Everybody, but again, I think it all comes down to transparency,
And then again, I think
boundaries, and being open and things like. But again, he has his relationship with his wife. I feel like it would be an issue if I don't know. I just know what it works. It works for me.
and I think too, and I'm gonna go here. I think it's different from having a close male best friend and a close female best friend, because if I'm with my close female best friend or whatever you want to call them, I can take my clothes off in front of my
But you
friend,
gotta-
female friend. But if I had a male friend in that position, I couldn't get naked in front of him. So I think it would be, and I'm saying that as if something was to happen or whatever the case may be, or we hanging out, whatever, we on the phone, a titty slip up, because I'm comfortable with it, with them, and like, oh, the titty just slipped. And
And you just took it right on back in there.
you took it when you with your homegirl, you just, girl, you know,
That
you
titty
think
just.
that titty is unruly. But when you with, I can't do that if I'm on the phone with Vernon. I wouldn't dare let a titty slip, and I consider Vernon my brother.
God, he gonna talk about it. No.
He's gonna be like, you see, she could titty just came out on the thing.
Big long titty.
But while you say that, he used to talk about how Tamara used to breastfeed in front of everybody, but it's of her culture. You get what I'm saying? But it wasn't-
It ain't got I breastfeed in front of anybody. It don't
And I
matter
used to tell
or
Big
it don't got
Daddy,
nothing to do with nothing.
and I used to tell Big Daddy, if you look at that long behind nipple, you gonna say it's going to Guinness World Record.
I don't want you out here.
Cause she would throw that titty out at the church in front of everybody.
Yeah.
The baby was hungry.
I nursed in front of Tamara. She made me feel very comfortable. I will, and I'm a big, because I literally, like, I think it was Olivia.
Yeah,
And I was
she
like,
do it.
I'm
Titties
so
all
sorry.
out.
I have to feed my baby. And she was like, girl, if you don't pull that titty out and feed that baby, I don't do my
Yeah,
thing.
get up, baby, that titty. Ain't
I was
nobody
like,
said that
okay,
titty.
thank you so much. Cause I didn't know. I didn't want to go to the bathroom.
Right.
I really did appreciate that. I'm serious.
Tamara broke
I'm here
everybody
for
when it
you.
came to that, cause she threw the titty around and we all was comfortable with it. And nobody cared.
I did not throw the titty
Girl,
around.
we could be on live right now, and she'll go in there and pull it out and be like, It just,
I would not do that. You
Tamara did not
Yeah, you
care
would.
where
Yeah.
the titty came out at. And that was the thing. She's so confident with her titties. With that being said, I guess
With
she
that
would be
being
able to let her titty slip in front of her male best friend. Then
Yeah, she would.
she wouldn't care. So you know what?
Wouldn't though, it would make the situation awkward for me.
I just think we have a misunderstanding when it comes to the title,
For the
because
title.
nobody, whether male or female, should be in that place. When it comes to best friend, ultimate friend, the most important friend, it should be your spouse if you're married. If you're not married, it should be Jesus Christ, him, the Lord and Savior. And if you don't know him, let us know. We can go ahead and lead you to Christ real quick. Romans 10, 9 and 10.
Come on now.
Put it on the screen. Go ahead
Yeah.
and confess that out loud. And then tell somebody. And guess what? He'll become your best friend.
Yes, it
Come on
would.
now.
And
Best
that's simple. Let's put in that, because I can't do this.
This was very good. Like, this was very good. See it
It
from a
was.
different perspective.
They said we is something else, honey.
She said, y'all doing too much. Ave is through with this whole
No,
conversation.
I absolutely.
No, I'm not. No, I understand it. Like I said, I agree with what y'all was, everything y'all were saying. I was like, oh yeah, my husband. Yeah, my husband. I think what's tossing you guys off is the fact that I use the term best friend. But I
Yeah.
think that
Yeah,
term
yeah.
means something different to every individual. My definition of it and the way I see it is never going to make sense to you guys. You're going to be like, no, but that's my husband. You know what I'm saying?
right.
I'm like,
Because
right.
at the beginning of the show, what I wanted to get was some understanding. And I still ain't got it.
I knew
so
it.
Uh-uh.
You still didn't get no understanding.
No.
I'm so
I can
sorry.
see it from her perspective, y'all. Y'all can comment what y'all.
I mean, you can see everything from
But whatever,
everybody's
whatever,
perspective.
like I
but
said.
no, but honestly, what I think is happening here We're saying
I
tomato.
can.
She's
Huh?
saying tomato.
Pretty
No,
much.
I-
That's really what it is. I think it's the title
I
that's
really
just
believe
No,
that
I understand. I believe that it's the term best friend. That is
Right.
that is the hiccup.
that's
That
the
is because we're saying what we're saying she's agreeing with. You get what I'm saying? Like she agreed, but when she throw that term best friend in there, it's like, nobody can have that. You get what I'm
But you
saying?
can't. So you're saying you can only have one best friend in your lifetime?
one. Well, now you
I
got
don't
it.
believe that.
Now
I
you
don't believe
got it.
that.
You're
I
married.
don't believe that.
I'm
Well,
not
I have a
married yet.
quota. I got a lot. Jesus is one. My husband is one. And my best friend is one. And I'm saying that because I don't want to say his name because I never got his okay.
No, 'cause
Yeah,
see,
no.
the
I'm
way you
trying
just-
to be
the way you just-
respectful because he you know.
You
The way
good?
you
You
just
good? You ain't gotta say.
the way you just categorize that. No, Ave.
Well, Jesus, I guess you gotta go because they
No,
said.
no.
No, sorry,
Jesus
sorry,
is the
Father.
ultimate friend.
Heard the
I
message.
said natural on earth. It should only be your spouse if you're married.
So you should only have one best
agree.
friend
You
on
can
earth.
have friends, but
I have
I
close
know.
friends, but my best friend is only one. It ain't Megan, it ain't Mason, because
it's the bestest friend.
it's
Okay.
Daniel, Big Daniel, Big
Right.
D.
Oh Lord.
That's pretty much what we saying. Nobody else deserves that title but our spouse.
Absolutely, my spouse holds the title as well.
I said nobody else.
I heard what you said, and I said
As well.
my spouse holds the title as well.
As well.
And that's the confusion right there, because how can you have two best friends?
Because my name is Ave, and I am able to do so.
Shit. And I know y'all gonna come for us for this one, because I know y'all like that believe like are they? All right,
Oh, it's a lot of them that I'm telling y'all.
No, when you get married,
My
your
friend.
spouse is your
I
only
bet we gonna
friend.
let you reply to the comments on this one.
Reply
Go ahead.
below, friends. That tells me
I definitely like the debate, because when I debated it with my spouse, there's no way I could have seen where he was coming from. No way.
And still
Yeah.
still can't see.
No, there's no.
And they've
But
been
he-
married for
he-
22 years.
He
I know.
came to, and I think it was us saying best friend too. Then looking back at it now, because we were young, it meant everything to say best friend. So how
I
you
got
give
you.
the highest title to somebody
I
else? and
got
you ain't
you.
marry him.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you. Kim. Now,
But
Kim,
that-
now I got some understanding.
No,
You heard what she said, Ave. It meant
I absolutely
everything.
did.
It
Well,
meant
worked for her.
everything. Oh, shady boots. It meant everything to say best friend. So how you get a highest title to somebody that you ain't
to her
giving
it's not the
highest?
highest. To her, it's an equal title with somebody else. That's what you're saying, right, Ave?
Well, like you said, because when we were younger, it was the highest title. Husband, wife to me is the highest title.
Okay.
Okay. Best friend does not trump my husband. To me, my spouse is the highest title because I'm an adult.
That's how
now.
I can see the perspective that she's. That's the only way.
Okay, so I get what she trying. So what she trying
My
to say
best
is
friend-
y'all is immature because y'all talk.
What? Wait, what did I miss? Hold on, run it back. I missed it.
She said, you're saying that we are immature.
Y'all is immature because y'all sit up here calling y'all husband best friend, and she said she's an adult, so her husband is the
husband.
highest title.
Tamara,
I don't call him that either,
that
but
is not what I said.
Tamara is being, you know what? Tamara
Me
took
being
a,
messy.
yes. There
That's
you go.
not, that's not at all
There you go, Ave.
America. That is not at all.
Tamara,
What
let me tell you something. Tamara took a messy pill today before she got on here today. She cutting up.
I wasn't. I
Half of
guess
one
because I
anyway,
think that's
Tamara.
why
I heard.
we
Huh?
see it
Say
differently.
what I heard.
Right, now I hear you. I hear you, Sid. I hear you, Sid. I'm now putting it in that perspective. I see why we see it differently because to me,
Cause you grown.
husband and wife is the top spot.
yeah, I get that.
Somebody, where I'm going to go to my sentence. I'm about to mute.
I mean,
you.
y'all
She
is
said because,
childish. I need
she
to
said
grow up.
because you grown, Ave. We childish using these title best friend because now I got a
Kim, get your
husband.
ring. Kim.
Ah.
Kim, get your
That's,
ring.
that's what Tamara said. Tamara,
No, but
I
But it-
absolutely understand. the
you see what I'm
perspective
saying?
now.
Because
For
to
real,
me,
for real.
that's
Good.
the highest. So that's I wasn't understanding because I'm like, well, yeah, I agreed with you because you were like, my husband. I'm like, yeah. To me, that's the top spot. And then friends are like the next thing. So when I say my best friend, that isn't the top spot to me. My husband is.
okay.
My best friend is like,
Like I
if
said,
my husband is my heart, and we know that the body cannot function without my heart.
Okay, preach.
My
then.
best friend is an
Come on now.
appendage. It's nice to have it. It's great to know that it's there. It's great to know that I can use it for things. But if I happen to not have it, I could still live a fulfilling life.
How your
Because
best
I'm
friend
smart.
feel about that?
Huh?
Yes,
Because he's
please.
married. Because he's married and he understands that. Like we, and then it's like a family thing. Like my parents married them. Like we're family. Y'all are so
The
weird.
mirror being messy today.
Y'all are weird. Extremely.
wait,
Not
wait a minute. She said, tell your best friend I've been in the pit.
I mean, how he feel about being what?
an appendage, because I said in
Like
my
a finger or something or a toe, foot or hand.
mean,
because-
I don't need it. I
It
don't
would just
need
be-
it.
like an
It's
arm.
nice to have it, but I don't need it.
You know what, Tamara? You know what, Tamara? I cannot with you. Like I
Yes,
said,
you can, because you are. Yes, you can, because you
I
are,
mean,
Miss
don't do
Michigan.
that because when y'all be going in together, y'all be going in. I'm just laughing, but I can't with the comments.
Oh, Lordy.
Like I said before, I believe what's happening is tomato.
Yes,
We saying tomato, she's saying tomato. It's the same thing. It's just
yes.
a different way of looking
It's
at
just a different way of saying it.
it. A different way of looking at it. And so when she broke down the husband and the friend, when she just broke that down, I got full understanding.
That's what I said.
Be a little
I see from that
childish
perspective.
because we holding on to that title best.
I'm done. I'm
Yeah, I believe back in the day though, that was something that was something because
Kim-
shoot,
And Kim said, you can call her what she want. You can call her what you want, but she ain't gonna let go.
no, I mean, I considered my sister my best friend
yes, I understand.
when we were coming up, but when I got married, I considered my husband that.
I understand completely.
But that don't mean I canceled my sister.
Right.
You just put her in her place. Dropped her down, put her right where she need to be.
But hearing it broken down like that, I definitely I can see what you said, but he still can't call her no best friend.
No, I understand completely. And there's reasons for that for you.
Yeah.
And you stand on that 10 toes down.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But even if it was a man, I'd be like, no. Because he do have a male friend that's really close and they grew up together. And but if he say, if he say anything, we're remotely on the same level, I got an issue with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cause like Tamara, he can't do what I can do.
And
Even if it was a girl, she still can't do what I can. You know what I mean?
y'all know what?
I bless you.
I honestly enjoyed this conversation, like thoroughly.
I want to see the editing on this one.
Ain't gonna be no editing on this.
I
We just
thoroughly
gonna
enjoyed
Edit
it.
that out.
I have felt I got full understanding of the
It's better for me. I absolutely I enjoyed the conversation.
and I think what took me
I
full
did
circle,
too, guys.
what took me full circle was the heart and them appendages. I'm sorry. That got me.
Want to do it?
Beautiful,
makes sense.
beautiful analogy.
It makes
Beautiful
sense.
analogy.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you got to come to our child. Give us understanding.
She was going good. I knew that train was
and
gonna
she
be off the
veered
track.
off to the right a little bit.
She was, and then she veered,
But
and then
I
it was
can't help because why would she say that? It's in my mind. It's embedded now that she when she did that to us, I can't let that, I gotta erase it. But why would she say that? So, but it all fit. It all made perfect sense. And with that being said, y'all please like, comment, and subscribe. Go ahead, click that notification bell. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that so you can get that notification bell so you know when we're posting our videos. We love you. We Be Talking fans. Until next time. We will see you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, best friend.
Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the post notification bell so you don't miss a single video, because you know they be talking. Period.